Hey, Farah, here we are.
Hey,
I
I'm
am so
so
excited
excited.
about it. We are off to, I actually probably should have done it like this, right? So we are off to Argentum next week, and we just wanted to talk. We are so grateful to our partners who make all of what happens at Senior Living Foresight um, possible in our goal to make the industry better each and every day. And we know this is happening. I got a great message from an executive director who's just starting a new position, who frankly was just completely beat up, and just talking about how much encouragement we're able to bring. So we'd really, really appreciate it if you would come and visit our partners. And we've actually got
Absolutely.
and you got your shirt on. I don't have my shirt on yet.
I've got my Foresight pink on. Pink
Now
is our
you do.
initiative.
I'm gonna get one. I gotta make a pink one here. I gave mine away. So, but these are some of our partners. We don't have this. This will continue to be updated, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. But we hope you'll come to visit our partners. And Quilt actually doesn't have a booth this time, but they're going to
But
join us
they're
here.
yeah, and
They're right.
they're
Yeah,
they're
but
they're
they're
offering
you. Let's
coffee
have
and
a get a
beer.
coffee or a beer from them. And
Exactly.
isn't that really sort of? I was going to say, isn't that better than a booth? But I'm not sure I can.
We
So
can't say that. Argentum is such a great
it is.
facilitator of all of these great innovations. But women are driving. There's a huge women's initiative. We've got to give a shameless plug out. Colette Gray, CEO of Integral Senior Living, is the chair of the Women's Initiative. So pink is the day Tuesday. Everybody wear a pink tie, wear a pink shirt. You're going to see us in our pink Foresight shirts as we're out there really promoting all the great innovations out in senior living to make operators better, investors more profitable, and as you said, community executives feeling that great mission to serve.
Cool. I'm going to bring Freddy on, and let's
Hey,
talk a little bit
Freddie.
about Quilt. Hey,
Hey,
Freddy.
Freddie.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. So this is your
Awesome.
first Argentum, right?
It is. I think I reached out to you a couple months ago and said we're interested in attending a few senior living conferences, and you said Argentum, gotta go.
Yeah.
So,
And
I'm
we
a
love the way
complete.
you're wanting to do it, right? Steve
Yeah.
and I are
yes.
really excited. You're going to be with us.
Yep.
You're going to be part of who we are with our cameras. And the other thing is you're offering beer and coffee, really great coffee conversations. So that's where we hope that our viewers today will say, what the heck is Quilt? I want to know more over coffee and a beer.
Yeah. There's I guess a coffee or a cafe and a bar just outside of the conference center or right there in the conference center. I tentatively said, if we schedule something before 11, maybe it should be coffee. But I'm not going to hold anyone to that if they want to grab a beer before 11. So
There you go.
yeah,
Well, it's almost like being on vacation, so you can sort of say you can maybe justify having a beer, although I guess rightly we should call it work, right?
that's right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So we've teased the goodies. We probably ought to talk a little bit about what Quilt is and
Yeah.
what you do and what makes you unique in the space.
Yeah, so Quilt is an engagement and communication platform for senior living. It helps to connect residents, family, and staff through a combination of mobile apps, digital signage, in-room media, a number of different formats to connect everybody. We provide the tools and resources for operators to share tons of information with everybody and keep everybody informed and sort of help to improve the transparency at the across the community.
I
Cool.
love the name. You're quilting together those pieces.
Yeah.
So tell us, Steve and I are a bit of tech nerds. We love our technology. So I'm going to throw out something that,
Sure.
we know that. So do you have an open API? Are you able to communicate with other software? Tell us
Yeah,
about
we love
that.
doing integrations wherever we can. The way our signage is set up, it can easily be adapted to a number of different platforms. If there are services and other solutions that communities are using, we're always eager to integrate those in. The first thing, as soon as there's having someone has to enter the same information twice, it's bound to be out of sync at some point. So anything we can do to sync that up and make sure that it's a single point of data entry or information entry is ideal. So,
oh, that's cool.
So I'm going to just say right here is the next guest that we have on is somebody you should be integrating with. Isn't that right, Michelle? I can see her even though you can't. She's in the green room. And so we'll make that connection for you as well.
Yeah, we've started to have some conversations about that. And we're
oh, you have? Awesome.
Excellent.
So the other thing I want to say is you have a very unique business model.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Tell us
talk
about
that.
it.
Yeah. So, I think we're in the position of purchasing and using software for a number of things that we do across our company. And one of the things that, we are always looking for is making sure that we're not stuck with a software commitment for the rest of eternity, right? We're not signing, 5+ year contracts that we can't get out of because we think that there's a lot of risk associated with that. Something better might come down the road. We might decide that it isn't quite perfect for us, and we want to be able to get out of it as opposed to forcing ourselves to use it. So much like I think a lot of the more common software solutions that are out there today, we've adopted a similar model. We have a completely free version that has a lot of features, but not everything. And then we have a paid version that gives you all the bells and whistles. So 2 things to choose from. We're fully transparent on the website what the cost of those solutions are. And you can go month to month on either one of them. You can start with the free one, jump to the paid one, decide you don't need all those features, jump back to the free one, mix and match it however you need to. We don't charge based on the number of users or the number of residents or staff who are on it. It's one fee, really simple pricing for everybody.
I love this idea. When I was an operator and I had multiple communities, it would have been fun if I could have had your solution to do in a test market, right?
Yeah.
A lot of companies, and if you're an operator or an investor out there, that often you feel pushed to have an adoption of a huge block. Where I'm hearing you talk about, Freddy, is that you're basically saying, give us a try, test drive the car. Let's get you out there in the market. If you don't love us, we want the feedback. But if you do, and sounds like you want to delight folks, then you can go to that premium level.
Yeah, users they do it all the time for everything, right? They speak with their pocketbook. If we're not continuing to deliver value and innovate and provide you the best possible solution we can, and something else better is out there, you're going to leave, right? So it really puts a lot of responsibility and risk on us to make sure that we're continuing to deliver the best possible product for you guys.
Cool. So I'm going to take you off the platform for a minute. I'm going to invite Michelle Wright from Cabo to join us, but don't go away because I want to have some more conversation with the 4 of us.
Sounds good.
And everybody get your calendars out, because if Freddy's buying coffee and beer,
that's
I know
right.
You're going to want a conversation.
Absolutely. That is absolutely right. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Oh.
So this is your first time at Argentum?
Yes, it is. And it is on my home turf. I'm a native Minnesotan.
Oh, right. You can drive to the event?
Yep. Or I was actually told this morning that maybe I should Uber so that I can partake in any activities that I would like to.
There's a pretty
activity.
full slate of parties and events that happened afterwards, and from my perspective, and I would offer this both to people who are providing solutions there and operators. The social time afterwards is really where the good business, not so much the good business, but the relationship building happens. So Michelle, let's talk a little bit about what Cabo is.
Yes. So Cabo is a TV-based platform for resident communication and remote TV control. So what we really do is we make every resident's TV interactive. We give staff and families a bunch of new ways to reach residents on their TVs. So think video calling, community-wide announcements, wellness checks, photo sharing. All that now can happen on a resident's TV. So a great way to make staff more efficient, save time, connect more deeply, engage, provide more transparency to family members, and engage residents as well.
Awesome.
So I want to be a little cautious about this because what you described sounds sort of like what Freddy just talked about, but what you guys do is actually fairly different, right?
Yeah, so we're actually, in my show and tell, we're actually a hardware product. So this box connects to every resident's TV, and you connect your existing cable, you connect your Roku, whatever, into our box. And then we hand the resident a remote control. That's a simple voice remote control. And then our software powers this experience, right? So there's an on-screen TV experience for the resident, and then there's an app experience for staff and families.
Oh, I love this.
So Farah,
yeah,
when you think about your time actually working inside buildings, how many times did you see staff members have to go down to, I don't know, change a resident's channel or get their remote control working again, or they get their TV turned on every day?
Every single day. And so I love that you have created an innovation, and you did your startup in COVID. Is that correct?
No, we've actually been
emergent.
We were actually a consumer product. So we had so using this core technology, we had a consumer product. And part of that was the ability to control the TV remotely, right? So within our app, you can change channels, you can troubleshoot, you can essentially do everything a resident would want to do on their TV remotely. So we had that technology available for consumers, and then we're finding that people were putting it in their parents' homes.
Right.
Why? And it was, well, I want to help mom control her TV. Like, I want to help her find her show. And so that insight led us to build this platform dedicated for senior living.
So let's assume since I'm the oldest person here, let's assume that I'm a resident in a senior living community, right? And I call you, Michelle, as my daughter, saying, I want to watch that YouTube from Foresight TV. Got to get a little plug in here. And I don't know how to get there. Yep. You could go on your app from Minneapolis, even if I'm in senior living in California, and get me to YouTube and get me to the right place. Is that correct?
And I think the super cool thing, our patented technology, is that I actually get a real-time view of your TV, Steve, so I can see what I'm doing, right? So I can navigate to YouTube for you and find what you want to watch for you from my app, and I can see in my Cabo app what your TV looks like. So I know that I'm doing it right, and I can sort of tell what I'm doing and make my way, which is something that only Cabo can do.
Wow. My mother just moved to senior living in Amherst near my sister. My sister and her husband are very active, off and gone. And I could see where I can do this from Scottsdale. Oh, I love it. Okay, We're going to be talking, Michelle. Mama's going to get Mama's getting a Cabo, and I'm getting the app.
Yeah. So the family member could do that. Also, somebody inside the community could do that as well, right?
So one of our customers used to come in on Sundays to turn on a church service in the morning for the residents, and guess what? Now she does that from her bedroom and doesn't have to drive in, which is awesome.
Yes, well, we used to, she recently passed away, but we had a family friend who was in a senior living community during COVID. And my wife would go over every week to get the church service on because the community just could not get it together to do that. And it was the only reason she went there. Now, you can argue that the community should be able to do that, but, communities are busy and we're short-staffed. And so I'm not pointing fingers there. So I just think that it's such a huge opportunity. So I'm going to bring Freddy back on now, and let's talk a little bit more. So,
Around innovation, Steve, I mean, you just said something so powerful. When an operator may be short of staff, right? We're presenting these great, sharp tools. We're not taking away people and we're not displacing people. We're actually helping them with these solutions that Senior Living Foresight bring to operators and investors so they can fulfill their promise to care.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So, Farah, you've got two people who are new to Argentum. What advice do you have for them to make the most out of it?
Well, I've got that great old-fashioned advice. I'd like to believe that I'm not 61, but I like to proudly tell people I'm 61. So I've been a healthcare marketing and sales and operations leader for 40 years. And I would tell you, I trained in the analog world before computers with great hospital companies like HCA, Hospital Corporation of America. And I took those principles and now we use technology, but best practice, this is all about relationships. So if you're watching today and you have a booth, set up that fishbowl, put an award, something that you're going to give away to them. Of course, you might have your specialty items that have your name on it, but a lot of people love that Amazon gift card. Have a place to get and capture those business cards. But at Argentum, too, it's walking the floor, going to the parties. And some of us may be introverts. That's certainly not me. And I know that's not Steve. And so, again, I want you to think about this as a place to go up and shake hands, introduce yourself. Please know that everyone there is there to share what they need, and certainly you have something that's a solution to offer. And so again, that ability to build a new relationship. And then what Steve and I talk about is, don't make it a one-time transaction. Follow up, give them a call back, make time to be with them. And I look at Quilt right now in Cabo. We already had an aha moment where you all can work together. So I use a term called co-opetition. So there's a lot of innovators out there that look at competition, right? But in the world of technology and what we do in operations, I think there's more co-opetition, especially with open APIs, especially when everybody's saying they want a unified dashboard. Well, guess what? My unified dashboard is this. There is all these fabulous applications, right? So sometimes they can stand alone. And we do this organically every single day. So if you're an operator and you say, oh, I don't want another solution, guess what? You already do this every day in your own personal life. And it's okay if you know it's going to care for the resident and their families.
So I want to actually shift this a little bit for you, Farah. If you're an operator, what advice do you have for operators? About making those,
for an operator, please work that floor, and step into the booth, have those demos, ask for a conversation. What happened for me as an operator is sometimes you are overwhelmed by so many solutions, but being able to go in and operators shake that hand. Don't just use this as an opportunity to host your party or wonder, well, what's out there? I don't have a budget. Here's Freddy offering a free solution. You've got a budget for that.
Sure.
You've got a budget for that. And so again, investors and operators, I know that position you're in, but if you can ask the question of an innovator, how are you going to help me both increase occupancy and resident and family satisfaction? And that's going to drop to the bottom line so I can increase my NOI, my net operating income.
So I want to offer a couple of three things. The first is, I
knew it was coming.
Right?
Love
I
it.
talked
The
about
counter.
this before, but
We love it.
keep track of, play a game with yourself. Challenge yourself to see how many people that you can meet in your 2.5 or 3 days. Even today, my goal has always been to meet 100 new people. And so the counter is a good way to do that. The first time I did it by just collecting business cards, which brings me to my second thing. Take business cards. I cannot tell you how often I run into even solution providers who say, "Oh, I forgot my cards," or "I ran out of cards." And there's some really cool things you can do. You get my card, you're going to find a barcode on the back. And I use what's a free app called Hi Hello, and you can click on that, and you have all my information. And it's a real easy way to swap information. And the third thing I'd really recommend, and this is ultimately for everybody, is go to the sessions.
Yes, sir.
One of the things I see solution providers do a lot of is skip the sessions. It's a big mistake. You have this opportunity, this moment in time. You'll see more operators at sessions than you do the solution providers. And there will be a 5 or 7 minute period of time at the beginning of before the session starts and when the session is over, where you can turn around and do a quick introduction, and you'd be surprised at how many relationships you can build in those few minutes. And of course, if you're going to do that, pick stuff that you're interested in. Don't pick stuff that's boring, but pick stuff you're interested in, because you might learn something and it'll make it easier for you to have intelligent conversations with the people that you're as a solution provider are hoping to sell. So, Freddy, any kind of question? Maybe I'm going to start this. Actually, Michelle or Freddy, you have any questions for us about Argentum?
So, from what I gather, the size of the venue, the size of the exhibit floor, this is one of those also where, in addition to that clicker, should also be in some pretty comfortable shoes.
Oh, yes, sir, Freddie. Thank you for bringing that up for all the ladies that might wear heels. I know I've had to find that perfect orthotic high heel.
Yep.
And Michelle, you're in booth 519.
Yes.
What would you say is a great tip for you? I know you've been at probably CES. You've been at some of the big shows.
I've amazingly, despite 20 years in marketing, managed to avoid trade shows for the most part. And now here I am. I don't know how I did it, but I somehow just always managed to get out of it. But I'm just super looking forward to talking to people. Every time I have a conversation with an operator, it's so enlightening, and just like the way they think about how they can use our platform is always just like, oh, I didn't think about that. And like just sort of having those conversations and collaborations on how they could use this technology to help them be more efficient or connect more. That's what I'm really excited about. You know, showing the demos, cool. Like, let me show you how this works. But like, let's have a conversation about how you could put this into play in your community. And I think that's what I'm most
I mean, a key question I want to add too, for anyone that's offering a solution, is have the operators ask them, is there a community you can think of today where, again, families are challenged, residents are challenged with what you provide, so that operator can now hold an image in their mind, because they've stepped away from that 365, 24/7. We never take a holiday in seniors housing. So when someone comes to the show, they're really excited to be there. But if you can help them imagine by asking that question, that's a great doorway into offering a solution.
love that.
Yeah. And I think, to me, that is really the biggest thing. When I see solution providers, there's a tendency to want to talk about their solutions. The best thing that you can do is tell me about the problems that you have, and let me see if I can solve that problem. Because I will tell you that we are a great platform for companies to tell their stories to operators. We love our partners, but sometimes there are vendor companies that are not a fit for us, and I don't know that unless I have that conversation. And there are going to be companies out there that are not a right fit for Quilt. They're not going to be some companies that are not right fit for Cabo, and that's okay. And so the goal is to figure out, how do you do the very best job for the people, and how you not waste time for people who are not who you can't solve a problem for. So
yeah, I would say, Steve, this is a kind of a mindset that we have across our organization, which is trying to understand all the problems that each of these organizations are dealing with. It's how we've got Quilt to where it is today, is based on listening to their problems, trying to come up with a solution. And I'm certain of it, that a problem that one operator is having, they are not alone with that problem.
That's
so
right.
If we can come up with a solution for that, it's likely to help more than just them, but have a broader impact on the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
So true, Freddy.
And the other
So
thing
we're-
I want to say, Michelle, I'm hoping that by the time you go away from Argentum, you're going to go, I had no idea how much fun I was missing. I can hardly wait for my next
Sign me
event.
up for an event a month. Yeah.
Well, I
There
do
you
probably
go.
more than an event a month. I probably average about 15 or 18. So I'm an event junkie.
That might be the end of my marriage, so I gotta,
No, yeah.
be selective.
So
We're
let's wrap up here. Last words, Freddie.
No, just looking forward to attending Argentum and meeting with anybody who's interested in sort of telling us about their problems related to communication and engagement between staff, family members, residents. We'd love to hear about those and brainstorm ways in which we can help.
And Freddie's
Cool.
going to be
Michelle?
with us.
That's right.
Yep, and he's going to be hanging out with us, so I'm easy to spot. And Michelle?
I would just say stop by booth 519. There's going to be a whole crew of us there. Would love to hear more about your communities. We also love to talk about TV. So happy to, talk about what we're binge watching in our spare time. Because we are all definitely TV junkies at Cabo. So that's our other good conversation starter topic that I'm happy
Fun.
to.
Love it.
Terrific. So, Freddie, Michelle, I'm going to pull you off the platform, put our slide up for just a minute, and we're going to close it out. I can hardly wait to see you guys in person. So,
Likewise.
Thank you.
we do all these virtual things, and it's so nice. There's still nothing like being in the same room at the same time. So, we appreciate what you're doing, how you're making the industry better, and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. Safe travels.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
So, Farah,
I just can't wait. I mean, I'm just so
it's going to be
excited.
so
Look
much
at it.
fun.
We've
I
got
can hardly
Glennis.
wait.
Look at all these fabulous partners. Glennis Solutions.
They are,
Booth
and they're
1134.
they're making the industry better for operators, which mean, and I worry a little bit in saying that, because what they're really doing is they're making life better for people, right? They are making it better for residents. They're making it better for team members. And they're, in some cases helping the move-in happen sooner. And so it's really just a delightful, wonderful thing. And Farah, of course, I do get to see you from time to time in person, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week as well. And for all of you who are watching, we're going to be there. We are looking forward to seeing you. I want to actually say one thing, and I think this applies to both of us. A lot of times people will send me a message after an event and say, hey, I saw you, but you were always talking to somebody, and so I didn't come by and say hello.
Come on over.
Come on over and join the conversation. It is very, very rare when the conversation is private. I will tell you that occasionally it is, and if it is, I will tell you that. But generally speaking, we are more the merrier people, so we'd like to have you come and join the conversation.
Yes, sir. I mean, Steve
Last
and
words,
I
Farah?
are connector. We're connectors. When Steve talks about it, I wish Malcolm Gladwell was here. We are connectors.
That's
so
right.
Again, no matter where we are in the show, on the floor, at a party, do not hesitate to come up to us, because we want to introduce you to the people we're with. We want to expand the conversation. And the good news for everybody here is we live our mission to make senior living better. So our partners, in order to be a partner, we have to have alignment around our mission. So that's the good news for the people we're going to introduce you to.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for
Thank
watching,
you.
and we'll see you next week.